Hey everybody, it's Chad with Nobody Else's Auto. It is Tuesday evening, time for Toy Tuesday Live. Since we are going live, we're going to give everybody a few seconds to jump on, then we'll get rolling. So we'll take a few second pause here, let a few people get on with us, and then we'll get into tonight's episode. All right, we're starting to get a few people jumping on with us. So we'll go ahead and get rolling. I've got some people that are signed in watching popping up. Hopefully, keeping our fingers crossed, comments are going to keep working. They did last week. Hopefully they do again this week. It's such a challenge. Technology is great. Technology is also can be a pain. But tonight got kind of a different Toy Tuesday for you. We're going to look at a train. And no, I'm not big into trains. Never have been big into trains. Never was big into toy trains. But always just thought they were really cool. I mean, you know, the old locomotives and things like that, they were just, you know, amazing pieces of technology and machinery in their day. You know, when you link back, clear back to the 1800s when they were running steam locomotives. So the piece we're going to look at tonight is a little out of the ordinary from what we typically cover on here as far as strictly car-related stuff. But, hey, it's got wheels, it's got an engine, so we'll go with that. No comments as of yet. Hopefully they're going to work. We'll see. So if you've got something, throw it up there, and we'll hopefully try to get to it. So the piece we're going to look at tonight, if you've been with us before, and you remember back a few episodes, because I haven't done them in a few episodes, I've got a big box of badges, the old like porcelain enamel radiator badges off of cars from the 20s and 30s. I bought a ton of those out of a collection in Missouri. And I think we've covered that story before. We'll go over it real quickly just to kind of refresh your memory. Met a guy at the Springfield, Missouri swap meet probably 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. And he had just an amazing collection of license plates, grill shell badges is primarily what he had. There were some other miscellaneous. There were some complete grill shells and a few other things, but primarily license plates and grill shell badges. Some of the license plates he had, there were like 3 known to exist, and he had matched sets of some of this stuff that nobody even knew existed anymore. They were so rare and so few left. And that was the stuff that was being found in this collection. And where it came from is there was a gentleman who, back when he was a kid in the 30s and 40s, and then during the scrap drive, especially in the 40s during World War II, his dad had a scrap metal yard. Well, obviously they were scrapping anything they could for the war effort. So he was saving the license plates and the grill badges off of that stuff. And that's where this stuff came from. Well, the gentleman had gotten to the point where he was too old to do anything with it. His family really realized it was time to start thinning some of this stuff out. And that's where they found the guy that I met, who we've become pretty good friends with, to help him liquidate the collection. And that's where we bought tons of the badges we've seen on here, as well as some other stuff. You know, we bought some license plates from him. Not a ton of license plates, but we did buy some license plates. And got some really cool stuff, as well as some other bits and pieces and parts and toys that had come out of that collection over the last 3 or 4 years. Every time we were ready to shop picking stuff up, there was this big, huge train sitting there. And the train was, the family had requested the train go on eBay. That was the only way it was going to be sold. It was not available for private sale. They wanted it to go on eBay, and that was the end of the discussion, and that was the only way they were going to sell it. So still not getting any actual comments. Getting a lot of notifications of people that are signing in. So if you are commenting, I am not getting them at this point. So apparently it may not work with us tonight. So I would imagine by now we've probably missed some comments, but they are not feeding to me, so I will keep an eye on that. So anyway, the gentleman passed away about a year ago, and the family decided finally it was time to go ahead and liquidate out the rest of the collection. And the train finally went on eBay. It was kind of a fluke deal. I kind of kept an eye on the guy's auctions just because I knew him and I knew what he was selling. And every now and again, I bid on a few things, but primarily I just bought a lot of stuff from him when we were down in Missouri. Well, and when he ran auctions, he always put them on Thursday night and ran them for 10 days, so they ended on the following Sunday. Well, it was kind of a fluke deal. It was almost a year ago, actually. I think it was last November. He put the train on, and I just happened to check his auctions on one Friday morning, and it was listed. So, needless to say, since we're here talking about a train tonight, 10 days later, I owned it. So, it is an epic piece. we'll move forward and I'll go ahead and start showing it to you. Detail on this thing is absolutely amazing. It is massive for a toy train. So let's go ahead and flip the phone around and start taking a look at this beast. I'll try to step back so you can get a little bit of the scope of this thing. Now, if you look behind it, there's my 58 Pontiac. And as you can tell, the train literally is sitting where it's sitting right now is pretty much even with the front fender of the 58 Pontiac. And the tender car ends back here by the vent window. So, when you put it in comparison next to a 58 Pontiac, it's taking up a lot of real estate. To give you some quick dimensions on this, when I put a tape measure at the end of the track, this thing is 6 feet long. When we go to the top of the train from the bottom of the track, 15, 16 inches. So this thing is big. I believe this actually did run at one point. I also believe it was handmade. I've had a few train guys look at it. This has not been touched. It has not been cleaned. It has not been a single thing done to it since it came out of storage. You can see there's still dirt on it and things like that. Once again, I'm still not getting any comments. I apologize for that, but I'm not getting anything. But when I start looking at the detail of this thing, it is just absolutely amazing. When we look at the mechanism on this piece and the effort and the time that went into this, it's just stunning. This engine, the tender car does come off. The tender car does come off and is separate. 2 people can just about handle the engine. When we unloaded it, it took 3 of us. We had one on each end and one in the middle kind of balancing it to carry it in and sit it on this table. That's what this thing, that's how much this thing weighs. We look down at the way all this stuff was put in here, how it was set up. It's just amazing detail on what they did with this. I don't know a thing about it. I've had a couple of train guys look at it. It says 1931 everywhere on it. Every number on it is 1931. I'm just taking a shot in the dark that maybe that's when it was built. But that's just a complete guess. But when we look at the detail on this thing, we'll open up, the roof lifts off. Look at the valving and the work in there. They even put little chairs in it. But with all this tubing and the valving and the way this thing was put together, I think this one even lifts off. Can't really see much down in there, but there's just so much plumbing and stuff on this that this had to have been set up to run somehow, some way, somewhere. Like I said, it may have been 90 years ago, when it was built. I don't know. Because if it was completed in 31, I wouldn't be surprised if this took a year or 2 to build. But man, it's just a cool piece. We come around to the front of this and look at the detail on the front. Once again, we've got 1931 with a Frisco-style badge. You look at all the little machine screws, all the work it took to do this. The bell even works. It's got a cattle guard put on it. It's got a hitch on the front of it. It's really an amazing piece. And once again, no comments. I apologize. I'm really curious as to what your guys' opinion is of this thing. If any of you guys on with us are train buffs, train gurus, no train gurus, I'm looking for as much information on this thing as I can get because I don't know much about it. I just thought it was so cool. You look at all the lines that run around this thing and the work that went into it. And then come back to the tender car. And it even has a little ladder on the back of it. So like I said, I don't know a ton about this piece. I'm hoping to learn more. I'm hoping to find out more information. I've showed it to a few train guys and just kind of striking out, you know. But if it is a completely homemade piece, you know, then you're back to just looking at what era and what components, you know, were put into it to create it. So that's what I'm trying to learn. And like I said, when you look at it against the 58 Pontiac, it kind of gives you a scope of the size of this thing. And it's just, like I said, I don't know how much time it took to build this, what it would take to make this function. You know, it's just something that's really out of my wheelhouse, but was just such an epic piece. And obviously with the story and, you know, the other pieces that we had gotten from the collection over the, you know, the 3 or 4 years that we were buying pieces from them, it was just so cool. I was so excited to get it bought. And then obviously the way things got shut down this year, we never made it down to pick it up. So I picked it up, you know, when we went down for the Springfield swap meet, since this was in Missouri, and managed to finally get it home. But the track even appears to be homemade. You know, it's on rough cut lumber. The ties appear to be rough cut lumber with an, you know, angle iron for the track. I guess we hadn't actually touched on that yet either. So, but like I said, so many details of this piece. It's hard to take it all in, especially when I don't even know really for sure what I'm talking about, other than it's just super, super cool. And really glad to have it in the collection. Just trying to learn more about it, trying to get more info, more details. So maybe some of you guys can help me out with it, and probably are. They're just not giving me the comments. So that's kind of disappointing. I'll be very curious to read them when we get done, since they're not cooperating with me tonight. So, but in spirit with the train and where it came from, and to do a little bit of car stuff, let's grab a few more badges out of the badge box that came out of this collection from where the train itself came from. So I'm going to reach in here and grab a few. So we get a few car pieces in, plus, you know, it kind of ties together with the train. They came out of the same collection. And we'll tie a little car stuff in. So I grabbed a handful of them here. Really cool old Cadillac badge. Single stud mount on that one. This thing's cool. A big winged Nash 8. This is another really cool one. A big winged Pontiac 8 in a V shape. 2 mounting studs on that one was how it was attached. Oh, really cool blue background Dodge Brothers with wings. 2 mounting studs on that one also. Nice porcelain on that. And let's catch one more. Oh, this is a really pretty piece. Big bright blue Dodge Brothers. Also 2 mounting studs on the back of that one. Good color on that one, chip in the corner. But obviously when we started seeing this type of stuff in the collection, we got very interested, and that's why we got involved with it and ended up adding a lot of pieces to our collection from what we found there. So it was a great experience. We had a lot of fun, and like I said, that's the important part about this hobby. The gentleman that was helping the family sell this stuff off, got to know him very well, got to be good friends with him, and that's what a lot of this is all about. That's why we do this stuff. We make friends, we enjoy things, we enjoy similar type stuff, and you know, we meet a lot of great people, and it's a lot of great experiences, and that's why we do it, and that's why we're here. That's why we're on here right now, because we're hanging out. Like I always keep telling you guys, I'm just the lucky one that gets to sit here in front of the camera, and you guys come hang out with me, and it's great. Unfortunately, tonight, they're not giving me comments, which is very disappointing, because I would be really, really curious to see if somebody on here knows a little more about this thing, so I can learn some more about it, which there again goes back to the hobby. We all learn together. Somebody finds something cool, everybody talks about it, and everybody tries to help each other out, and that's what's great about it. So that's what I had for tonight for Toy Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed it, even though it wasn't a car or car-related toys, but it did have wheels, did have an engine. So that's what we had for tonight. looking forward to tomorrow. Be sure to stay tuned tomorrow. We're going to be doing some lives for Rocky Mountain Race Week. We'll be in Great Bend, Kansas at the SRCA drag strip. Super excited to see a bunch of our friends tomorrow that are going to be coming through. It's going to be a great time, and that's the great thing about it. Once again, a lot of those people, that's the only time you get to see them. Fortunately, there were 2 Rocky Mountain Race Weeks this year, which was great because we get to see them all again tomorrow. Definitely looking forward to that. Like I said, if you're anywhere near Kansas, Oklahoma, whatever, if you can get to Great Bend tomorrow, and then they are actually in Noble, Oklahoma right now racing. If you can't get there, jump on bankshift.com. Bankshift has a live feed of the racing action going on in Noble, Oklahoma right now. They'll be here in Great Bend, Kansas tomorrow, and then back to Tulsa on Thursday to wrap up Rocky Mountain Race Week. So stay tuned for lives tomorrow. We'll bring you some really cool cars from the track and keep you posted on what's going on out there. Going to be a great time. And hopefully you caught the live today. If you didn't catch the live today, go check out what I picked up today. A really cool Ford pickup that I'm super excited about. So be sure to check that out also. So, F&E Collector Auto Auction, new video going up on that page tonight also. So be sure to check that out. I posted a video last night, got a new one going up tonight, and some more, and several more going up this week for cars going to be crossing the block on Saturday, October 3rd at the F&E Collector Auto Auction. So if you haven't been on that page, be sure to check that out also. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Super disappointed that comments would not work tonight. Right in the front door of the shop with the doors open, hoping that it was going to cooperate and we were going to get a signal, but it didn't. So anyway, that's what I've got. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Tomorrow night, what's coming up tomorrow night? More new inventory on the show tomorrow night. And then Friday night, Pioneer Village with some more really cool trucks. Some Chevys, Fords, Internationals. I think there's even a Diamond T in the video for Friday night. So be sure to check that out. As always, if you have questions about vehicles or parts, just give me a call. Numbers are all over my pages, and so we can have a discussion about what you're trying to build and what you need to see if I've got anything here that can help. So thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your evening to stop by and hang out with me. Had a great time as usual, and unfortunately comments didn't work, but that's what we've got to deal with sometimes. So we will see you tomorrow live from the racetrack and Rocky Mountain Race Week. Thanks for watching, everybody.